Welcome back to my channel, sports fans. Okay, let's talk about this. Jordan had Pippen, LeBron had other teams' number one franchise players, right? Oh, Jordan had Pippen, but LeBron had other teams' franchise number one franchise players, and LeBron played with all these first round draft picks, top five first round draft picks. But Jordan had Pippen. So let's talk about this real quick because I mean, LeBron, when you see this, why would you put this guy even in the top 20? This is horrible. And this is why you can't take people like Nick Wright, Shannon Sharp, even Stephen A. Smith, even Chris Broussard, even Rob Parker, all these people that, what was it, Colin Cowherd, you can't even take these people serious about their own job in sports, as far as sports analysts, sports debate, all this stuff. You can't take them serious. These guys have made millions of dollars lying, either putting this guy number one or number two, right? So when we look at this right here, let's get into this. LeBron has played with so many guys from other teams that was a number one draft pick or a top five draft pick and was a number one franchise player of that team. Wow. Let's count these guys really before we go over their names. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. And I heard there's more. Okay? And I guess we can disqualify some of these guys when we go down the line, but it is what it is. And I'm not going to disqualify them because you say they're old. Some of these guys were younger than LeBron or came into the league with LeBron. That's an excuse right there. Why would you go get guys that's hurt and old and past their prime, so-called? Why would you go get them? That makes no sense. If you saw that these guys were no good, why would you go get these guys top money to come to your team? Because they just weren't coming to his team for a little bit amount of money, right? You remember the 21-22 super duper team in LA? He got these guys, I wouldn't say max contracts, but he got these guys a lot of money, to come over there and play, and they was supposed to be past their primes, right? All that money he got Russell Westbrook. And then people start talking all this mess saying he wasn't worth the money. Guess who got him that money? LeBron James, right? He got that big super duper team over there, so the Lakers could just like charge crazy prices for tickets, popcorn, parking, hot dogs, food, alcohol. That's what it was about. It wasn't about winning, and the sports media won't tell you about that. It's about money. It's about the clown show that this guy has put on wherever he has went. It's not about real basketball and winning. It's about, I hate to say it, cheating his stupid dumb fans out of money, because the media promotes this guy based on a clown show, not based on winning, right? If you was paying all this money to see Michael Jordan play, if he was in town or if he was at home or something like that, you pay for his actual play, for his winning, for his relentlessness, for his defense, for his, stuff that you never seen from a basketball player before. The GOAT. That's what you pay for. Never back down style. When the people wanted to go see him in 86 at the Garden, that's Michael Jordan. Busting their heads for 63, setting a record in the playoffs. Coming back the next year, having to play these guys, putting up 35 a game still. Third year. Never back down. I'm going to lose, but I'm going to show you that you're going to need 5 guys just to beat me. 5 Hall of Famers, right? Who needed 5 Hall of Famers to beat LeBron? LeBron was missing the playoffs his first 2 seasons. And in the East, they didn't have no 5 Hall of Fame players on no team. Not until 2008. They had 3. And these guys hadn't even won no kind of MVP or nothing on their own, right? They were great players. So let's get into this. It says the reason LeBron is not top 5 of all time, right? He's over there and he looks like he's about to puke because he knows what he done did. When we look at all these number one franchise players that he played with, and you got Jordan over there laughing, 4 and 6 all time. what was it? Help in 20 seasons. 4-12 all time. Help in 20 seasons. This is all this guy's help. So, number one overall draft picks LeBron has played with. Kyrie was a number one overall draft pick to Cleveland. This guy was garbage, but LeBron, he ran back over there and played with him, right? Because he saw he saw a dude that got handles and can score, and he really had no weaknesses. A little bit of defense. That maybe was a weakness, but nobody plays defense in that era. It's about who can outscore who. They don't have the energy to do both, right? They don't have the energy to play defense and offense. These are the greatest shooters of all time. We had to change the defensive rules for these guys so they can look better. Wow. So it's like you running a race, right? And your competitor is right next to you, and you guys start running, and you have to run over hurdles. He ain't got no hurdles in his lane. You guys finish, he done smoked you, right? And all you hear is, he's the greatest runner of all time. Nobody can stop him. He's got these skills that nobody has. He's better than Usain Bolt. And you're like, what? This guy didn't have any hurdles in his lane. We don't care. He's unstoppable. He broke records that will never be broken again. And you're like, what? Oh goodness, this is how we're living right here. We're living in stuff that is being told to us backwards. Doesn't make any sense. So AD, first round, number one overall draft pick. You got Rose, number one overall draft pick to Chicago. And we'll get back up to the crying because this guy, why did you get this guy paid this money? We'll just go over it. Why'd you get this guy to Cleveland to pay him this money? Why? Howard. Yeah, he was on that super duper team, but remember, he was on that 2020 team that won the championship and helped AD clog the lane, right? First round, number one overall draft pick over Orlando, right? I forget this guy's name. I think, oh my God, I think Odom. You guys are gonna have to help me with this. We can disqualify this guy, right? Because he got hurt his second season. He never came to fruition, and he was drafted to the Blazers, but he was on that Miami team. I think that lost in 14. When was it? 14? I think he was on that team, or 11. I forget which one. He was on that Miami team, and then we look over here at Shaq. He passed his prime, man. Do you know? Let me explain this to you. Do you know Shaq in 2010 was making more than LeBron? Let me give it to you one more again. Shaq was making more than LeBron in 2010 on that Cavs team. And let me let you in on something else. If you haven't seen that video, LeBron was not the highest paid player on Cleveland or Miami until I'm pretty sure it was 2012 or 13, right? What? So even if we go back to 03, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, he wasn't the highest paid player on the Cavs. You had what's this guy's name? Ben Wallace was making more than him. I think Gauskas was making more than him one year. I think Antoine Jameson was making more than him one year. What's this guy's name? The guy that came over, he was like a real good defensive specialist from Washington, and then LeBron made the playoffs the next year. Oh, I remember in a minute. This guy was making more than LeBron. You had all these guys coming over making more than LeBron. What does that tell you? I don't care that he had $100 million contract, a shoe deal. That's over years and years and years. You know what I'm saying? They were making more than this guy. That's how much help he needed. So yeah, Shaq, number one overall draft pick. He was a number one franchise player at one time. All these guys we just named who were number one overall draft picks, they were number one franchise players and options at one point. Let's move on to first round, top five draft picks LeBron has played with. We got Dwayne Wade. He was a number 5 pick overall in the first round. He was Miami's number one franchise player. Okay, Melo, number four, excuse me, overall draft pick in the first round was Nuggets, number one franchise player. Right? We go. Well, was Chauncey Billups over there? Who was over there? Was Chauncey over? I don't know. Chauncey was in Detroit at the time. Who was over there? Still, I don't care. Melo was. I don't care who was over there at the time. Melo was still that number one overall. And then he went to New York. He wasn't. He didn't get drafted there, but he was their franchise number one player. You got Ray Allen, number five overall draft pick in the first round, and he was Milwaukee's number one franchise player. Chris Bosh picked number three in the first round. We know that he was Toronto's number one franchise player. At one point, Westbrook, fourth round, no, fourth pick in the first round. Now, I don't think he was OKC's franchise player. I think Durant was, but he still was a top five pick, right? Kevin Love. Kevin Love. He was picked fifth in the first round and was Minnesota's number one franchise player. Antoine Jameson, fourth overall pick, first round. Where was this guy at? Oh God, you guys gonna have to help me out. But he was the number one franchise player. I want to say he was in. Was he in Washington? Top five pick in the first round. Nevertheless, you got Bibby, second overall pick in the first round. Where was he at? Oh God, did he go straight to Sacramento? Mm, I'm not sure, but he played with LeBron in Miami. I don't think he was a franchise player as far as he wasn't a leader. But look at this, he was a second pick overall, right? And he wasn't a bust. This guy was not a bust. He was not a bust. You got Jawan Howard, fifth overall, first round, right? He was already in Miami, if I'm not mistaken, when LeBron came. I'm not sure where he was drafted to. I want to say Washington because he played with Chris Webber in Washington at one point. He wasn't a franchise player, but he was a first round, fifth overall. You got Beasley, not a franchise player, but he was picked second overall, right? In Miami. You got, what is this guy's name? Darren Williams. I'm pretty sure this guy was a franchise player. And what was it, Utah? Mm. He was the third overall pick in the first round. And then we got Lamar Ball. I think that's his name, right? Got drafted to the Lakers. I want to say he was the second overall pick. And he was a franchise player, right? So this is mind-boggling. Jordan had Pippen, who was not a franchise player. Dennis Rodman was not a number one franchise player. He just wasn't. He was like the third, fourth option, if not fifth option on that team. People say, I've heard there's more people than this that was a top five in the first round or franchise players. Mm. So if we just go by franchise players that we know that was number one franchise players of another team that LeBron played with, because this is hella experience, right? That we know for sure. We know Kyrie, we know AD, we know Rose, we know Howard. We'll leave, I forget what this guy's name is. Oh, something Odom. We'll just go ahead and be nice to LeBron and leave him out. And we know Shaq. Shaq was making more money than this guy. You guys are going to say this guy was old. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 we have already that were number one overall draft picks. So we go down the top 5 draft picks in the first round. We got Wade, we got Melo, we have Allen, we have Bosh, we have not Westbrook, we have Kevin Love, we had Antoine Jameson, We have I forget this guy, Deron Williams, and we have Ball, right? He was a franchise player before LeBron came over there and got rid of him. See you later. We don't need the fans loving you more than me, right? We don't need a point guard. I'm the point guard. What, bro? But you played forward. What did I say? Huh? We don't play with guards on this team. I'm the guard. Okay. So when we go down to top five draft picks in the first round, so that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Wow, that was number one go-to franchise guys of another team that LeBron played with. So overall, number one franchise players that was the number one option that led another team. Let's look at it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Wow. We was trying to be nice and not even count some of these guys because we don't know, and we still came up with 13. And these guys just came and went. Like in a 21 year career. This ain't even all the all-stars that this guy played with, right? This ain't even all the all-star selections that this guy played with. Or maybe not even all the Hall of Famers, but I would think this would be it. If there's more, let me know. But this is crazy. This guy says all these guys were trash, and his fans do when he played with them. But Scottie Pippen was the greatest thing in the world. And if these guys was trash, why were they good on other teams? And why did you want them? And how come you can't make these guys better if you're the guy who makes your teammates better, right? His whole career is like the opposite of what they say. The opposite. It's weird. It's like some Twilight Zone type of stuff. Spooky. They called this guy the chosen one, not because he was a winner and he ever did anything that, other great players did that was different. It's because he was chosen to cause confusion and make his fan base dumb. In his fan base that they're gonna live a life where they make up all these excuses. And they're gonna think because every time you lose, you're this winner. And you're as good as the winners in this world. There's nothing wrong with losing, but you got to see what you did wrong and come back a little bit stronger and fix what you did wrong. But this guy, he doesn't do this. He just blames it on everybody else, and then he never fixes what was wrong. And then it happens again, right? He loses again. He falls down the mountain again, and then he makes excuses again. It's like some stuff that you teach your children. Stop making so many excuses. You gotta see what you did wrong and fix it. You gotta put it on your shoulders. Eventually, you got to be a man or you got to be a woman and see what happened wrong. And clearly, this guy has so many shortcomings. He has to run to all these other great players all of his career, right? That's the main part. He has so many shortcomings. He has to go play with all these great players. Yeah, we all know this. And he paid off the media to lie and all this stuff. So tell me what you think.